started back in '03, Christmas one year. I got yarn, learned how to crochet that winter. I made hats for myself and for my friends at my home mountain in New York. Never really thought of selling them at that point. And coming up on the next year, some big brands like Decipher and Logic Headwear kind of came out. We're killing it. So I kind of wanted a piece of the action. For the '04-05 season, I came up with a website and people could go on there and basically tell me everything they wanted, and I would crochet it and ship it right to their door, and was just doing that day in, day out, every day. Enam offered me to start crocheting hats for them. I was kind of flattered, but I was just like, I kind of want to go my own direction and get my own thing going. Yeah, I was definitely young. I was kind of just going with the flow, so I think I was kind of innocent in the fact that I didn't really know like this whole like the business world, and I was just kind of just following what I wanted to do and didn't really consider that I would fail. It was the summer of my sophomore year, and I was lifeguarding, and I was still crocheting hats like every day almost, and it was just getting too much. So I started going online and linked up with some factories. The first time I saw my first sample, I was just like blown away that my idea was finally a real product. Tall beanies, I guess, was my first collection. I had 9. I based that off of the outerwear I saw. Kind of the Oakley neon was the big thing, so I came out with a bunch of neon hats that you couldn't really find. So I had ads on Newschoolers, I had banner ads, and then I also had full-page ad in Freeski magazine. I mean, I was 16 at the time. I wanted people to like know I was serious and I wanted to get things done. I mean, beanies is a hard thing to really set a signed contract with. I mean, you wear different hats every day. Right. So which I understand and I'm flexible with. Like I'm not like on my team like oh, you weren't wearing that beanie in that shot. It's just some of my friends that I signed. LJ, Holson, they've been on since day one, just real East Coast roots. I mean, almost all of my riders I've watched them grow up as the brand has grown. I mean, starting grassroots, like people like Walker. I mean, he was just an Aspen local. Matt Margette's real early on sent me a tape, him up in Canada, killing it. Tom Walsh started sending me stuff back when he was in Pennsylvania, and I actually didn't sign him. It wasn't until he kind of moved out to Utah and started blowing up, and I was like, hey, remember how you sent me some sponsor stuff the other year? I think you should get on that program. I mean, it's almost just a whole generation just moving up together. They get their shots and I do my business, and it works well. I thought about just getting a machine myself and just kind of buying stock hats and getting the logo on there, but building a brand is more than just the logo, it's everything around it. I mean, I was really just trial and error at the beginning, just trying to get things the way I wanted. It definitely took a couple years. Now that it's been so long, I've established I know how to get things done, but it was definitely a hard process at the beginning. You have to be really precise, because I've gotten samples where I thought I was portraying one idea and they came back and it was completely different. I mean, and sometimes the misconnect ends up to be something good, like the baller beanie was supposed to be something completely different, and I got it, and it's been one of my favorite hats for the past couple years. I've looked at producing like every possible product you can think of, from skis, goggles. I mean, I've talked to some sort of manufacturer in some sort of area of the world. Back 15 months ago at the 382 Battle My Crew, it was a channel gap setup, had a Rodeo 7, and basically landed in the middle, and I shattered my entire right tibia, as well as had compartment syndrome and damaged my peroneal nerve, which paralyzed my ankle and my foot. So I spent about 2 months in the hospital then, and another month over the year. So I've had 16 operations. My foot still doesn't have full motion and feeling yet, but my knee is basically to where it'll be, so fingers crossed I get on snow this year. Didn't get on snow at all this previous season, but hopefully by December I'll be back on skis. It was definitely tough right at the beginning, because it was March through May. That was like kind of my main time. I kind of really finalize all my designs and kind of get production in. So it was tough being just aware of what was going on, being on so many drugs, being on an operation every other day. I mean, definitely just having my family there was really tight, just my brother, my mom, and my dad, all kind of helping getting orders out so that kids weren't getting pissed online. It did delay things a bit. My line didn't come out till about November this year, but I'm pretty healed up now, and hopefully things keep rolling from here. From beanies, I went to gloves. Came out with pipe gloves for a couple years, on and off. And then 3 summers ago, came out with my first line of sunglasses, which have been a huge hit, which really helped me bridge into other things. I'd say I follow streetwear trends kind of in my everyday life. It's hard to really connect it into skiing just throughout all the products, because skiing is my roots. It's just everything, and I really want to keep those core customers happy. And hopefully over the years, as things kind of blend together, I can offer products that cater to both markets. I started with karmaloop.com. They're based out of Boston, basically the go-to streetwear website. I linked up with them and started selling my sunglasses there through the summer and throughout the whole year, and it's been amazing working on that. I'm selling to places like Atlanta and Florida and Texas, where they don't go skiing at all, but they're still getting my brand, which is awesome. Started East Coast Headwear, then I went down to EC Headwear, and I really wanted to keep the EC kind of image in it, so I've been kind of brainstorming what I wanted EC to stand for, and I kept Eastern because just like I am East Coast, like I grew up here, it's where I learned how to ski, it's where all my best friends are from. I'm really proud of what I've built in such a short amount of time that I want to build myself as the image of the brand. I mean, companies like Diamond with Nick Diamond, the Hundreds, and LRG with Jonas Bavacqua. I mean, all those guys are the brand, and you kind of respect the brand more because you know who's behind it and who's really bringing it to the forefront. And so I've had Eastern Collective in my mind for a while, and I just thought at this point that the brand itself is so secure that I think changing the name won't be extremely harmful. I think it'll help grow the image into something a little more professional. I was 14 when I started, I'm 21 now. Just personally, I've grown up. At this point, I know how things work, I know how things are supposed to go, and I know what people are expecting to see from the brand and just myself. I mean, I have ideas and I have things that I want to achieve and go for. I would love to open up a store soon, next couple of years, like once I'm out of school, which I think that's going to be my big turning point. Is once I'm finished college, I'm going to have so much more time to really put in this brand and really get all the ideas that I've had in my head into concrete products. If I just keep doing the same thing year after year, where it's just a set equation almost, then it takes the fun out of it. I'm just another skier, like, that happened to get an idea and run with it. I feel like I'm just another guy, and if people can look up to it, then great. I'd love to just inspire people to follow their dream and try something new.